Right now, this is happening?
It's happening right now.
I mean, his
All right,
name
let's
is
turn into
Giannis.
a general sports podcast. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to all the court captains.
The hard court captains.
If there's
That's
a
the
court, we're
basketball
on
version.
it.
We're the captain of it.
Yeah, or Fields. Welcome to Court Captains, a volleyball podcast.
Where we talk all things Major League Volleyball.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Nikki.
I'm Ian.
And today we're talking episode 50 of the
Yeah.
podcast. The Golden Jubilee.
Yes.
If you will.
Except for that's for 50 years.
Yeah.
And this is 50
Episodes.
But first, a message from our sponsor. This episode of Court Captains is brought to you by Volley, the best app for MLV fans. More in-depth statistical data than you'll find anywhere else for players, teams, and leagues. Plus, are you getting sick of the YouTube chat having the same 3 conversations over and over? Do you want to know for real which is better, love or MLV? On Volley, find chat rooms for every game. Maybe you'll find a court captain in there this week.
Ooh.
We'll see.
Hop on the app.
Download the Volley app at playvolley.com/courtcaptains. That's playvolley.com/courtcaptains. Good stuff.
Nice.
All right, jumping right into transactions. Now, I believe we recorded that Maddie Walk was waived from the Atlanta Vibe. And then, before we could get it out there, it was announced that she signed with Love. Houston? Yeah. Because Micah Hancock is out with an injury. That was their main setter. So she filled the gap. Now, all I have to say about this is I don't think it's that big of a deal. We know that she played at Texas A&M, and we know that her coach works for Love or worked for Love and maybe was telling his players not to go to MLV. After the draft, that was the rumor. That was the tea. After the draft, she didn't have a team. So then she was playing with Atlanta. And as we talked about last week, there were 3 setters on that team. So they didn't need her. We don't know exactly what happened with who waived who first, who fired who first, who
left whom,
quit first. But I don't know. Wish her the best.
Good luck.
I think they did play her game 1. She arrived in town and then they played her.
That's great.
So that's
exciting.
cool.
That's
Good for her.
good to get time.
Now,
It is good to get time.
yeah. I just hope everyone is having fun playing volleyball.
I also heard that
Absolutely.
Love is trying to get mascots now.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I heard that.
Love Nebraska wants to do the least by asking fans to fill out a survey.
I mean,
what they think
that's
the mascot should be.
That's just a recipe to get something like volleyball McVolleyball face voted
gonna
on.
submit that one?
And that's just what always happens. There's always some sort of British seafaring vessel that they put up to a vote, and it ends up being named Bodie McBoatface. You can't leave this up to the fans. We're not serious about these various mascots. Maybe they can just take the Aggies from Texas A&M and they can be Houston agriculture and military team.
I think it's Nebraska. They went from
Only
Love
Nebraska's
Omaha.
getting a...
Yes, they went from Love
That's it?
Omaha to Love Nebraska
Oh
to
my God.
something else.
Such an interesting.
I think it's just that team that's trying to do it. Honestly,
That's
you want to
weird.
talk about free labor, Ian. If they want a good team name,
Oh.
I don't think they should do free labor.
See, yeah. I mean,
Request free labor.
That's how you get first thought.
Yeah, right.
You would never get such awesome names as the Vibe. No one would think that. They would say that's not a mascot. What are you talking about?
You know who would think of that? Only an expensive marketing creative
a marketing
agency.
firm.
That's the only people who can think of that.
Mm-hmm. So you gotta shell out to the marketing firms.
You got to shell.
Yeah. We talk. Have we actually talked on the podcast about how all the teams are blue? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's just they're not all blue, but they all fucking wear blue
They all do.
all the goddamn time. I don't understand.
But a lot of them their main colors are blue.
Yeah.
And
or
then
navy,
and then they got a new team and then they made it blue,
Yeah.
blue.
which is such a crazy choice because there are no green teams.
Yeah, now that Vegas is gone,
And green
there's
is
no green.
fine. Green is a
It's
fine color.
nice.
It really
But as
is.
a millennial who basically only has gray, blue, and black clothing,
Sure.
I get it.
Are you
You look at
colorblind?
all the colors on the color wheel.
You
Sadly,
are
no.
wearing a red hat though. I mean,
It's
shout
true.
out.
Yeah. No,
You
this is a
love
gray
the red
hat. What are
hat.
you talking? This is
Yeah.
You
my
love the
famous
red
gray
hat.
Is
hat.
that your Valentine's Day hat?
Yes.
I don't know if you've noticed, he's been wearing that all month on this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's cold up here in this
but
room.
I was gonna say that also love also has a lot of blue everywhere.
It's hot right now. Blue is hot, I
It's
guess.
like the blue and the symbols. It is very confusing. So the sooner they get the mascots, the better, I think, for
I think they're,
everyone involved.
but
It's
I
easier
think
for
they're
my
keeping
brain.
the symbol. Now we enter the part of the podcast where you don't know if we're actually pro creative agencies or not.
Yeah.
Because we've
I
said
mean,
you need
Hey,
them.
listen,
Sarcastically.
I just want people to get paid to do their jobs, and so that's great. Anyway, we've talked about love for a long time. We can move
yeah,
on.
No, it's
this
okay.
is
We can go. Okay, talk about other setters in Major League Volleyball. So on Wednesday, January 28th, Claire Emerald signed a contract with the Dallas Pulse. That is a rookie out of Iowa who was drafted to Omaha, I do believe.
Hmm.
And then they
Cut.
cut her.
in the cut day.
And I think there's an injury that they're not putting on here. Which once again, why isn't it on here? Because right now it looks like they have 17 on their roster, and I don't think that's true.
It's an
Oh,
information
So-
war.
I think the
so annoying.
I think the backup setter on Dallas is injured, maybe low key in a low key kind of way. So then all I would hope is that Dallas said, "Hey Claire, this might be temporary, but if you want to get some reps here while you can, go ahead." I would hate for that to be. Because the thing with the injuries and the thing with moving someone to the IR, and then also there's a roster cap, and then also there's a salary cap, is that like when people are going to move on and off the IR, that means other people are going to lose their jobs. So,
Well, and that would then you would assume that they just had space under the cap to be able to sign her without moving anyone to the IR to free up space or whatever. And
well, yes, I believe they had salary cap space, but they didn't have roster
not a
space.
roster spot. Yeah.
Right. That's the thing, the 16. So we'll see there. I don't think she's gotten in at all because NVA is still running that team, to my knowledge. Then another funny little setter situation. Mac Pedraza signed a contract with the Valkyries on Friday, January 30th. Hannah Pukis is their often second setter and has been battling injury on and off for years now. So that also was my assumption that maybe she was low-key IR, although not on the transactions page, so we don't know for sure.
because they somehow made the transaction page worse.
Right, it's worse. It is. I mean, in some ways it's better, but mostly it's worse. And so as you recall, Atlanta dropped Mac. So Atlanta keeps really, with third setters, they keep creating drama is what's happening here. They signed her over the summer and then they dropped her for Shannon Shields and to draft Avery Carlson. So Mac signs with Orlando on January 30th and then is waived from Orlando on Monday, February 2nd. I think she got in for a couple points this weekend. So
Whoa.
I don't know what that's about. The whiplash is not my favorite thing.
I just want people
It's a
to
tough life.
trade. What if we
Yeah.
trade?
What
did
about a
some
trade? What about Reagan Cooper? No, because now she's playing for Omaha.
Yeah,
So
she's
Yeah.
playing a boatload now.
she has. But has her passing gotten any better? Are we
She
going
got
to?
taken out of timeout.
So then I'm like, okay, how many? Orlando has 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So it's not like they had oops, we didn't have the space,
Uh-huh.
we obviously that was thought out and possible. It's not like someone made a mistake and they had to go cut her again. My bad. They had
Yeah.
15. She was 16. So I don't know what the heck is going on there.
Mysterious.
If anybody knows, hit us up.
Yeah. Drop us a signal chat.
It's a big oop.
I bet there's so much more happening than what we are seeing in the transactions. I don't know. I feel like we need to be watching the benches every single game and like create our own rosters of what's available
And we need some whistleblower to be leaking us internal documents or
and
something.
who's dressed, who's not,
You know what
who
else we could
warms
do is
up, who
like
doesn't.
we could initiate the trades. Players, if you don't want to play on your team but you don't want anybody to know, just hit us up.
Yeah.
And we'll start
What's
putting our
what is the
immense
legality of
amounts of.
like being an agent but not?
It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
just
there
take
can't
a
be that
cut.
many regulations around it, right?
The thing is, when you get official agents involved, then
But we're not that.
Yeah.
we're not that. But I'm saying when you
something
get official
different.
agents
Believe
involved,
us, we can keep a secret.
we can keep a secret. Like when agents know and then they start courting other teams, like we don't want like a Giannis effect. We want Lee Edmond to be very happy no matter
Whatever
what
that means. What a what effect?
Kelly.
Oh my God, Kelly.
Kelly, you're missing the biggest
What are we doing?
NBA discussion point of the moment.
Captains, let me know if you're not the only one, if I'm not the only one that needed that explanation.
Okay, that's all I got on transactions and tea, I think. Unless I'm forgetting something that happened on Instagram this week, but
It's hard
I guess
to
the
remember
only
all
thing,
Instagram
the only
stuff.
thing that I want to mention is that Vice TV, Vice Sports, and the Atlanta Vibe all collaborated on an Instagram post talking about Leah Edmond and how she came up in volleyball and her relationship with her parents, and that her dad was a football coach or something.
Nice.
So like
I did see
now
this.
everyone say thank you Vice TV.
That,
I'm
thank
in.
you,
Vice
Vice
TV.
TV. Yeah.
Make some secondary content.
There certainly had to be like something like that in the agreement, which is cool, fine, you know? But the thing, what I will say is that they really made it Leah focused. It was like, Leah,
Oh, that's good.
tell us about your experience and what you're thinking on the court when it
While
comes
your
to how
father
your
is-
dad did stuff. All I'll say is that it was better than it could have been.
Also, great. They're getting the exposure.
Totally.
Love it. Thank you, Vice.
But okay, I think that there was probably stuff that happened on social media that I'm just not ready to speak on at this moment. So let's
Let's give it
take
another
to
week.
this corner.
Let's give it another week.
Yeah, that's right. We'll see if I get there.
All right. Scorner, we had a new Scorner fucking
Yeah, tighten up that
graphic
hood.
last time. It was pretty sweet. Well edited. Incredible job. Whoever did that.
Whoever did it.
Ian Scorner.
Excuse
Whoever
my,
it
my
was.
voice this week for the Scorner. It's raspy, even more masculine and awesome because I've been sickly this weekend. So, this week in the Scorner began Thursday, January 29th. Atlanta Vibe at Indy Ignite on YouTube. The Ignite continue the good season. They win a four-setter over the Vibe in front of the home crowd. They won 25-18, lost the second 16-25, and then won 25-19, 25-18 to finish the match. They had a pretty bleak second set hitting-wise, but outside of that, they played really well. Saw Atlanta off pretty easily in the last two sets, led by Johnny Teeler again. She finished the match with 16 kills at 325, had a block and a couple of aces. Blake Muller also really great, 7 kills at 333 with 7 blocks, half of Indy's blocks for the night. And Lekator had a little bit of an off day hitting, but added 4 aces, including 3 in the third set alone. After the second set, I thought that Atlanta was going to be turning it around for a comeback win. Indy only hit 26 to Atlanta's 214 in that set and had more errors than kills. But out of halftime, it was definitely a different story. Atlanta hit a really nice 360 in that third set, but Indy hit 483 and won the third set. So went on to take the fourth after that as well. Leah Edmond did her usual work, 289, 13 kills. They couldn't really find anything else with Aiko Jones, Raven Colvin, and Pia Timmer all combined for 8 kills on 70 attempts. They hit around 30, so it was tough outside of Edmond on that day.
Whoa.
Also Thursday, yeah, whoa.
Whoa.
Also Thursday, Orlando Valkyries at the Grand Rapids Rise on YouTube. The Valks left Michigan with a sweep, but It's about as close of a sweep as you could get. It was 6 points all told. 25-23, 27-25, 31-29. Probably the most exciting sweep we've had in the league. Valks won by 2 points every set, as I said, unsurprisingly led by Brittany Abercrombie. She had 22 kills at 465 and a block. Charity Looper also had an awesome game, 14 kills at 375, and led the team in digs with 16. Bree Kelly also deserves a mention, 7 kills on 12 attempts for the game. And I imagine this match was a pretty frustrating one for the Rise. They hit 304 on the night, but just couldn't get to the finish line in any of those sets. Orlando hit 358. Paige Briggs Romine followed up her last really great week with another good game. She had 308 with 17 kills, and Carly Snyder had 16 at 359, which is good as well. Last game on that Thursday, Dallas Pulse at Columbus Fury on YouTube as well. Dallas kept pace with Indy at the top of the standings and swept Columbus on the road 25-23, 25-21, 25-19. One stayed over from Indy. The Pulse continued their good first season. They hit 262 to the Fury's 137. Lane Van Buskirk had 10 kills at 438 and 3 blocks. Sofia Maldonado Diaz had 10 kills of her own at 261 with 2 blocks as well. Mimi Collier led the Pulse again, 12 kills, a little bit lower on the hitting percentage than usual for her. She had 200, had a block as well. Fury paced by Raina Terry on the night, who's been really good this year, and she had 14 kills at 303 with a block, but outside of that, couldn't find much consistency. They woke up a bit hitting-wise in the third. They hit 297 in that set after hitting under 100 for the first 2 sets. But points-wise, it was their worst set somehow. So, nothing more than a little silver lining, I guess. Friday, January 30th, San Diego Mojo at Omaha Supernovas on YouTube. Omaha fights off San Diego after losing the first and take a long 5th set for the win. They lost that first set 21-25 and then won 28-26, 25-17 before losing the fourth 20-25 and then winning the 5th set 21-19. It feels like Brooks' 73 attempts on the game might be a record. I didn't check, but that seems like just an assload of hits. It's insane. She finished with 20 kills, but only hit 161. Bit more of a struggle compared to her usual offensive output, but she had 3 aces as well. Reagan Cooper led the team with 23 kills at 210, had 2 blocks too. Kiara Reinhart, though, 18 kills at 640 with 2 blocks. Only 7 Supernovas took any swings at all over this 5-set match that went into extra points in the 5th set. But you just got to do what you got to do sometimes, I guess. Mojo started the game very well on the offensive side, but fell off a bit after halftime. They finished the match hitting 241, slightly better than Omaha's 228. Maren Grote had an all-around awesome game, 12 kills at 440, along with 5 blocks. But similar to some other teams so far this week, couldn't find a ton outside of their lead player on the night. All right, Saturday, January 31st, Orlando Valkyries at Columbus Fury on YouTube. And it was kind of Orlando, they did a little eeny, meeny, miny, mo with Columbus, if you will, and they just went back and forth. All the sets, won the tiebreaker set to take the win. They won the first 25-19, lost the second 16-25, won 25-13, then they lost 21-25, and then they won the tiebreaker 15-11. Pretty much about as back and forth of the game as you can get. Teams traded sets and maybe would have continued forever into deep time if we had a win by 2 sets rule, but we were denied that eternal match. And the Valks were led in kills and attempts this game by Charity Looper. She had 24 kills at 295. Brittany Abercrombie had a comparative rest day with 16 kills at 143 and a couple of blocks. Natalie Foster really showed up in this game from the service line. She had all of the Valks aces, which was 6, which I feel like that is probably pretty close to as good as we've seen from the service line. And she had 8 kills at 333 and 3 blocks as well. The Fury finished the match hitting 168 to the Valks 235, led again by Raina Terry, who had 17 kills but hit only 100 with 3 blocks and 3 aces as well. She was the only Fury player that had double-digit kills on the night. Reagan Pittman had a pretty nice game with 9 at 292, along with her 4 blocks. Also on Saturday, Dallas Pulse at Indy Ignite on YouTube, top of the table for first place. Not quite the game we wanted to see. But Indy won it. They took the sweep after a long third set. They won 25-14, 25-14, and then that really good third set 29-27. Dallas seemingly keyed in pretty well on a Johnny Taylor who had only 8 kills at .087, along with 2 blocks and 2 aces, but she was more than picked up by the rest of the Ignite team. Lydia Martin had 10 kills at .562 with 2 blocks. Kayla Lund also had 10 at .241 with a couple of aces. Lekator member Manea had 9 kills at .381 with a block and an ace as well. As a team, they hit .296 to Dallas's .132, out hitting them in each of the 3 sets on the evening. Dallas ended the match without a player in double digits for kills. They were led by Sofia Maldonado Diaz. She had 9 at .088 with 3 blocks and an ace. Lane Van Buskirk had another good day with 6 kills at .500, couple blocks and an ace. Not quite the first place battle we might have wanted, as I said, but the last set was really close and good, so we got that. Sunday, February 1st, San Diego Mojo at Atlanta Vibe on the aforementioned Vice TV. The Vibe dropped the first set before righting the ship and winning 3 straight sets. They lost that first 18-25 and then went 25-16, 26-24, 25-21 to win. They got off on a slow start hitting. They had 143 in the first. After that, they turned it on and never hit below 300 in the rest of the 3 sets. They finished at 281 to the Mojo's 208. Just a stat after the game that I think is funny. By the end of the game, Atlanta's now won 15 sets. They've lost 15 sets. They've won 664 points. They've lost 662 points. So they're just kind of the baseline for the league right now. Leah Edmond, another awesome game. 18 kills at .304 and a block. Raven Colvin had 9 kills at .364. Anna Dixon came in for Aiko Jones in the second set and played really well. She finished the match with 15 kills at .333, 2 aces and a block as well. And Avery Carlson deserves the shout out too. 2 for 2 on kills, led the team in digs with 22, and then had 50 assists as well, and served 21 times without a service error. We love that. The Mojo finish another frustrating week. Oh my God, Kelly.
Her internet went out. Her internet went out, but
all right, I'll
take
press
this
on.
match again. Yeah.
The Mojo, as I was going to say, frustrating week. Showed more flashes of good stuff, but still wound up with a couple more in the loss column and no wins.
I think
Jovana
that's
Brukasevich played very well in this match. 11 kills at .348 while adding 4 blocks and 3 aces. And Hayden Kubik had 13 kills at .216, as well as Maren Grote hitting over 300 again with 7 kills. Final game of the week. Omaha Supernovas at Grand Rapids Rise on CBS Sports Network. Omaha, after that little dip where they lost, I think it was 3 in a row, they've just been winning since then. They continued in this one with a 4-set win over Grand Rapids. They won the first 25-18, lost the second 20-25, and then went 25-19, 25-22 to finish the match. They overcame sub 200 games from both Brooke Nunaviller and Reagan Cooper, who had 12 and 10 kills respectively. Cooper also had 4 blocks, but Emily Londat had a massive game. She had 20 kills on 40 attempts. She had 400, had an ace and 3 blocks as well. And Toyosi made the best of she didn't have a ton of attempts in that game, but she had 8 kills. Hit 533 with a couple of blocks as well. So really, really great. Grand Rapids struggled overall offensively. They hit 179 to Omaha's 280, but Ramad Al Hassan had 11 kills at 429 with 3 blocks and an ace. Really good. And Elizabeth Enna continued her good season so far. 11 kills at 259 and a couple of blocks, but couldn't find much down the stretch to take on Omaha. And that was the week.
solid.
Nice.
So I like to do it. Just finish it off with the standings. Indy Ignite holding true in the top of the league standings, 5-1. Orlando Valkyries at 5-2. Dallas Pulse at 4-2. Omaha Supernovas at 5-3. Blue teams on top. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by Atlanta Vibe 3-4. Grand Rapids Rise 2-4. Columbus Fury 2-5. San Diego Mojo at 1-6.
Yeah.
Red teams in the middle. Yellow teams on the bottom. is what
Indy,
we're
though,
seeing.
they've now won twice as many sets as they've lost.
Yeah.
Fewest sets lost in the season. They're looking
It's
really good.
it's good looking stuff.
It is.
Player of the week this week by the league was Mia Tuaninga, Indy setter, which is cool.
Makes sense.
Obviously, we're big fans of her on this podcast. So the biggest surprise for me was Dallas's performance at Indy on Saturday. And they did beat Orlando in 5 on Sunday, January 25th. They
They
played
swept
Columbus. They
Yeah.
swept Columbus on Thursday, the 29th. But I think that they went from Florida to Ohio there because Ohio had all those cancellations. And then I think that between Thursday's game in Columbus and Saturday's game in Indy, they were always
Yeah,
planning
they
to
just
just go
stayed.
straight
Yeah.
between those two. And so I think I read that they didn't have coats because
God.
initially they thought it was going to be Dallas, Florida, Dallas.
Yeah.
And they didn't bring any coats.
They would have needed coats in Dallas too.
Well, probably, but either way, they didn't think they were going to have a whole week away.
Yeah.
And I think they did. And I wonder if that contributed to like day 7 away at Indy.
Long
when you're
road
playing.
trips.
It's just a really long trip that they weren't anticipating and weren't prepared for. And I wonder if that in some ways contributed to them getting swept at Indy.
Yeah,
Because it
generally
didn't
would
look
suck.
good. It looked
Yeah, and that
bad.
one it looked yeah, not good compared to Columbus, which looked really good. So
Right.
I think developing also, in my mind, a theory of like home court advantage, where there is no team that is undefeated at home this year. But there are 3 teams that are undefeated on the road this year.
Oh, can you tell me?
Valkyries are 4-0 on the road.
Okay.
Indiana is 3-0 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And Omaha is 3-0 on the road.
That's
But
very
everybody has
interesting.
lost games at home. So sometimes it's just, there's pressure being in front of you. In front of
Pressure.
all those like volleyball teams that were given tickets to come see you and they're holding your signs.
Yeah. And you got to sign.
It's
You got to sign autographs afterwards.
a lot.
It is a lot.
But yeah, I don't know what that means. That's just a funny stat
It's
to
just
me.
a funny thing. Honestly,
Like-
shocked that
like
Omaha
Atlanta
hasn't
stats.
won at home every time. If they're,
Yeah.
playing.
Well, there were a
crowds.
couple of Indy had the same thing as Omaha this week where
Yeah.
Indy won a game that Johnny Taylor didn't play like very well. Omaha won a game where Brooke and Reagan Cooper didn't hit very well. They still hit a lot,
Yeah.
but didn't hit great. And so I don't know. That seems like Omaha maybe didn't have that earlier in the season. And yeah, we've talked about even Orlando sometimes when Brittany Abercrombie isn't hitting lights out that they can struggle. But it seems like a good amount of these teams now are figuring out other ways to get stuff done
Yeah.
when
Totally.
their stars are keyed in on. So
Yeah. So I, surprise last minute, went to the Grand Rapids Rise game on Sunday to go see Omaha at Rise. And Carly Snyder was out. So that's like a player who normally is like producing a lot of kills for them. She played
yeah, she
well
had a good
earlier in
game
the
earlier.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that game, I don't think I ever heard 100% what was going on there. She wasn't
you don't wanna
dressed at all.
flare.
So like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so they were
kind of what it
planning on her
seemed
sitting.
like to me. And I think we were up in the press box for a little bit at the beginning, and I thought that I heard someone say like, "Oh, she'll be back. She should be back next week." But I don't know if that's 100%. So don't stick by me on that. But I feel like other players, we've been talking about like the star players maybe not playing or having the presence that they normally do, and other people filling in. In this instance, one of your star players or very consistent players is not available at all. And they had Allison Mayfield for the whole time.
Yeah.
It didn't play like Carly Snyder. And so that was a tougher, like, they tried switching different middles at different times. They tried the double sub to get a different outside and setter in for a few rotations. But ultimately, like, I did feel like Kathy was trying a bunch of things, but the team didn't seem like they were gelling very much to me.
Yeah.
And on the other side of things with Omaha, like,
That was the Emily Londat game.
yeah, where if you've got, maybe Brooke not hitting quite as well as she has before, Reagan Cooper not hitting as well as she did the match before, Londat stepping in was really cool to see because she was getting set a ton, had more attempts than either of those outsides, and was trying different shots.
Yeah.
Was seeing the block really well. And I will say that in person, I mean, now this is the second time I've seen Grand Rapids in person. Like, Al Hassan's block is so long. Like, it's up there. And Londat was handling it. So that was cool to see her step up in that way. But yeah, overall, I thought that what Grand Rapids did a good job of in that game was making Omaha have, it's just up. It's not perfect of a dig, which actually is something that I feel like I'm saying about Grand Rapids a lot. But, Morgan Hens and Brooke would show up to keep the ball up in the air at the very last minute a lot. And I think it frustrated Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Even if it didn't give them the ability to run their middles very much because they didn't. Yeah. Both middles combined got 25 attempts.
Yeah. I mean, and it shows in the passing stats too. I think that like Omaha did not pass very well, but didn't matter in the end. They still figured it. They still got it to work, I guess.
Yeah, totally. I think there's an interesting theory that I've seen floated in the Discord about whether the Brooke Morgan combo actually works. Because we saw that on paper and we thought one of the best, maybe the best libero in the league, maybe the best first touch outside in the league. Put them together, it's going to be gangbusters. They run. Which of us is going to get it a lot? Yeah. And I think
do you think that's just
being on teams.
Yeah, they're not comfortable with it yet, or
yeah, and maybe we'll see that grow over time. But they're used to being on teams where they cover so much. Yeah. And so I thought that was an interesting idea about whether, like, why we might not see this team. We might not to this point have seen this team maybe perform in like the way that we were hoping or anticipated from the beginning, because having both of them on a team and your passing is 34% positive is crazy to me.
Yeah. And I mean that's kind of nice for Reagan Cooper in this game, because Reagan Cooper didn't pass super well, but she can be like, well, it wasn't just me,
Right.
That's everybody had struggled. And, they wind up after that week 5-3, and like I still very much assume that they will be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I guess it'll just be about how much they can improve on that stuff in between now and then. But
yeah,
I mean, if you're winning games when you're passing poorly, that seems good.
Yeah, if 34% got you a 4-set win, then
seems
you
nice.
can't complain. The 5-setter against Mojo, Omaha's 5-setter against Mojo, like a little surprising to see. Like, I think that we were kind of hoping Mojo would get another win in that column, and
only for them.
Put something together.
That one. There were a couple long sets. The last set was really fun to watch, but yeah, Mojo, that's just been kind of how they've been this year. They don't really win those sets.
Yeah. Kiara Reinhart hitting 640 on 25 attempts is bonkers numbers.
Yeah.
Which I know you said in this corner, but
like it's
very cool.
To have, later in the week have Emily Londat have a huge game. Early in the week have Kiara Reinhart have a huge game.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of places for them to go. That being said, they only had 7 people attempt a swing in that 5-setter.
I mean,
so you are thinking like, hey, they've got other places to go, but then it's just like, well, they sometimes just won't do that anyway. And I guess
this is so interesting with Sydney Hilly running this offense, though. It's like the last thing that I expect. Can we like trace it back to first contact still? Because
I mean that one they were slightly better passing.
Outside. Yeah. Slightly better, 36%. It's not very good.
Yeah, it's more the perfect. It was like
and the same thing on digs.
But like that 36% number is is kind of it. That was basically what they were this whole week in those two
Mm-hmm.
matches, and that's kind of where they're at. So yeah, I guess that's just like, well, we're just going outside then because I can
But
make
that's
that from
not.
wherever.
But that's not Sydney Hilly's like game normally.
Yeah.
Like that's not what her strength is. It's not like what she relies on all that much. So I've been surprised to see that is how this distribution has been going for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess I don't know, it's still comparatively early, I guess. So
Yeah.
we'll see if that
Yeah.
changes
I would love to see that.
if they figure the passing out a little bit more that
Right.
you would assume that they can get a little more creative.
Mm-hmm. Who else you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, India's number one now, alone again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, one of those games was Johnny Taylor hitting like 86, I think. 87 against Dallas, and they swept them.
Mm. Other players stepping up, I guess.
Blake Muller and Lydia Martin have been really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at how a middle forward offense will get ya.
Yeah, I
I
think the first match against Atlanta, Blake Muller had 7 kills, 7 blocks. It was pretty nasty.
and we have Kelly.
Kelly's back.
Classic technological
Hmm.
Yeah,
challenges.
just some
They're
tech
after us.
difficulties.
So I have no idea what you guys have been talking about. Did you acknowledge my my
Yeah, a little
disappearance?
bit.
Okay.
And then I just
We'll see if
finished
it
the
makes the
score,
final
so
cut.
we're just in
Yeah.
games.
We're
Omaha,
on
crazy,
Indy.
Mojo, wild. Almost, they
Wild.
almost had him. Mojo's so
Yeah.
close.
They are.
It
They're so
They're close to
sucks
close,
figuring it
because
out.
yeah, and like maybe they
but also
will,
so,
but
but also so far. Are they
yeah,
lost?
like
I
maybe they
think
will
they're
figure it out.
lost.
But
Mm-hmm.
at some point, it's like, yeah, I mean, early in the week when they played Omaha, like they would, if they had won that game, they would have been one game behind Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
So you,
Mm-hmm.
you convince yourself like it's the
Yeah.
parity that we talk about. It's there if they win this game. But then they lost the
Right.
game, and now it's like it feels one and
Far
six
away. Yeah.
feels a lot different than 2 and 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you want to talk about now? What's happening with Columbus?
Sure.
Hmm.
Dallas did, figure them out
Handled
pretty
it.
quickly. They really did handle it.
It's interesting they got Raina Terry back to the outside for the game against
Mm-hmm.
Orlando. That was interesting. I just wonder what influenced that choice.
Well, I think
Probably
that
after the sweep
the game
against Dallas.
prior, yeah, FHC didn't do very well in that one, from an efficiency standpoint, and so Angel Perez was talking about something in a press conference where they're just gonna. He essentially said the essence was like, they're just gonna try a bunch of different things until they find something that works.
Does that somehow do we think that's also damaging some chemistry here? Like we're not able to build these, telepathic communications between
Yeah, sure.
players.
I mean, I think that Akasha Anderson got in against Dallas for a bit. That's a rookie, I think. That was exciting to see. And then in the one against Orlando, we saw Jalen Hodge. So even though, now, did either of them hit extremely well? No. But I do think that it is generally Dallas is able to do it well, to pull people off the bench and put them in the right situations, and I think it builds a lot of team camaraderie. I think that Omaha is playing around with different right sides right now. Obviously, they're switching around outsides. I don't think that it's a bad thing to stray from your 7 people that you're always going to play. But it has to be done well, and it has to be done with confidence in players, and it can't be I'm punishing you for playing
Right.
badly.
Right.
Well, and it sucks to be like, all right, we're
You have
losing.
one bad
Get
game
out
and
there.
you get
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
benched.
if you have one bad game and then basically the next time you get in, you guys are down 7 points in the sad that you're on your way to losing. And
Oh, the Orlando versus Columbus match.
Yeah.
mhm.
I thought that was fun because it was the battle of the Serbian liberos. That's cute. They had a, I thought it, Discord talked about it. A few minutes later, there was a visual on the screen. Now,
That's good stuff.
They're really listening to us.
They've got moles in every location. They've got people sneaking and spying. No, I just think that like it's easy. It's easy to talk about. It's fun and cute. They ran into each other here and there. Yagditch and Pusic.
Well, like
That's fun.
so, you know, we've now been like media people at a few of these games, and at the game we were in San Diego, they gave us a whole packet of like fun facts you could talk about, like anything and everything, you know, from NCAA stats
Pronunciation
to
guides.
people's
Send us this stuff, teams.
parents. And I bet that was one of the fun facts in the
Absolutely.
media guide.
Totally.
That's what I was
Yeah.
looking. I remember. Yeah, we were in the San Diego. Just like how much copy is in these fucking packets.
Yeah.
Who's writing this copy?
No, I love it. Thanks, PR teams.
Yeah, it's
That's
good.
great.
Yeah.
Orlando. While we're talking Columbus, and then we were talking Orlando, and now we're talking about Orlando. Bree Kelly is playing instead of Kaz Brown right now. Something happened. This is the game. The Columbus-Orlando game is the one where Mac Bodraza did get in for a second, and she was wearing Kaz's number 11
Uh-oh.
with like
Illegal.
a white tape over.
Oh no.
I mean, but Mac is 11 in the official lineup, so like props Amy Polly, she input the right thing. But Mac wore
So this is another
11.
Adora situation. You remember that?
Well, yeah, it was an Adora situation, except done properly. You know, like Mac was wearing 11. She was input as 11, and then Kaz was wearing 99. I don't know if Kaz was injured this week, or it was another thing like Carly Snyder, where it's like I got a little thing. I don't want to exacerbate it.
Yeah.
And so Bree Kelly played against Columbus very well. I thought I like to see her getting a couple blocks and generally getting the groove, trying to link up a little bit more with Shampoo in match, which you know who did a really interesting video about this was Abby Benton, the I think number one volleyball person. Just talking about the skill of American setters setting the ball at the very top of their jump, and that it's more common in some Asian countries for those setters to sometimes set it on their way down. I thought this was I never connected those dots because I wasn't seeing a ton of like slow-mo zoom ins on a player like Tomcom or Champu, but it like goes back to year one when we were like the medals are not connecting.
Yeah.
And this is like a very big reason is that like it screws up when your own middle can like understand and get that timing. It can screw up the other blocker really well. By almost, I think that the best, oh gosh, I hate to talk about another sport and comparing. That's like the worst, but I'm going to do a court sport, okay? It kind of reminds me of a fadeaway basketball shot, you know?
Oh, sure.
Where it's like you're holding on to it for longer.
A little bit of a hezzy.
Yeah. And so all of this to say, like, I do think that American setters are very different on timing in this specific aspect. That it was a really great video from Abby, so I appreciate her pointing that out and like pulling some really good clips. But all that to say, like, I would imagine younger American middles like need some time to like really get in the groove of it, especially in a game.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you need those reps.
Got Atlanta stuff.
I said I was going to watch more of them last week, and I don't know that I did. Well, for the San Diego game, I was
On Sunday.
driving to Grand Rapids, so I missed that one. I watched them against Indy,
I just want to like call out that Leah Edmond, I think, might be one of the most consistent players.
Yeah. Important to do because it can just get like quotidian and normal.
Yeah.
But it's still destroying everything. Yeah.
I mean, it's like we talk about Brittany Abercrombie, we talk about like
Same
Johnny,
deal,
like all these like really amazing players. But like, I don't know, we see them have bad days or whatever. But I feel like Leah rarely
it's very rare.
So
Yeah, she was like
shout
289 in the
out,
first game and right around 300 in the second game.
just
Yeah,
reliable,
Yeah,
that is
full
great.
reliable.
She's our court captain
Yeah.
of forever.
indeed.
So both of these matches, Avery Carlson is setting. Yes, I
I think
do believe
so.
so. Not Shannon Shields. I don't think. Maybe Shannon Shields is coming in for a dub sub now and then. But it feels like Carlson has stepped
Yeah, she
forward
was the
as
first game too.
starting setter. And we haven't talked much about Raven Colvin on this podcast this year yet.
Hmm.
She had a good game on the Sunday one, not quite as good in the earlier in the week.
Yeah, but had 3 blocks earlier in the week.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there's a little bit of like a spinning plates situation with her where she's focused on one part of the game and then she's focused on the other part of the game. And if she can like do it all at once, that'd be great. But she's a second year pro, I believe, out of Purdue. And I'm really liking her presence on court. I think that she is, this was a really good move for her too, from Grand Rapids to Atlanta.
Yeah, totally.
I'm very happy for her.
Yeah.
That Sunday game was also the one where I know I mentioned it in this corner, but I think that was the one Anna Dixon came in for Aiko Jones in the second set. But yeah, earlier in the week was the one where her and Raven Coleman and Pia Timmer all had a tough look. And then Aiko Jones started a little slow again on Sunday, and they just made that switch for Anna Dixon. I think Aiko Jones came back as a sub in the last set, but yeah, I don't know how they will handle that going forward. Anna Dixon played really well on Sunday, so
Yeah.
The hot cold of it all. What is that about with these pin hitters, these Atlanta pin hitters? Like not having a clear setter and also having some drama with setters. That can be hard for consistency with pin hitters. Maybe
it
now
would
they'll
seem
be
so.
able to settle into something. Now that the drama is over and that Carlson is playing.
I feel like it usually all comes down to passing. Like if for pin hitters, like they are going to be getting the sets off of iffy passes.
But they're passing
Middles
better
will
than a
not.
lot of teams that are winning. Atlanta is.
Yeah.
The opposite of, yeah, when we
Fair.
talked about Omaha before you hopped back on, Kelly, like both
They're
their
passing
games they
badly.
passed. Yeah, bad, but they won.
Yeah.
And,
I did
that
notice
was
that, like, you know, we talk about Reagan Cooper, maybe not passing is maybe not her strongest skill.
yeah.
And she had like the same percentages
Yeah.
as Morgan
That's
Hens.
what I was, yeah,
Yeah.
I said that like it was at least nice for her where she was like, you cannot put this on me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the whole team
Yeah.
was passing
Yeah.
badly. This is not a Reagan Cooper problem.
It's not. It's not an RC issue. Okay.
But yeah, then they were just, that was the first game was the one where Reagan Cooper had like almost 60 attempts and Brooke had over 70 because
Well,
they're just
maybe
throwing it out there.
then
Well,
maybe it is if the passing's there, maybe it is a setting issue.
I mean, and San Diego was passing pretty okay as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. But something that I do know is that watching these games, I don't know why this year it's so hard for me to watch from these angles. I can't see what I need to see. I want to be there. Maybe now we've gone to enough games that I'm like, this isn't good enough. Okay, what do we need to say before we wrap it up?
I don't know. Is it great? I mean, you saw Grand Rapids.
Yeah, I'm not.
They're kind of in that Columbus San Diego group right now of
Yeah.
it's not going super great.
They don't look confident, and also like cut it out because like 6,000 people were at your arena on a Sunday. Like,
Yeah, they show
also,
up.
I don't know if that's true. 45, 60. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
what was I
Still a
off
lot.
by? Like,
1,500.
1,500.
15% or something. No, that would be 1,000 if it was 10. I think I was off by 20%. Okay.
Okay.
So
Sure.
that's not horrible, but that was a lot of people there on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. Do it for your city.
They didn't play terribly against Omaha. They were just a little better than the Orlando game, but they hit under 200. Wasn't great. Omaha has their stuff kind of figured out. That was the Emily Lontot game that we talked about earlier. just crushing them.
Well, and Grand Rapids this week is at Indy, and then they're at Dallas.
Damn. All the playoff seeded teams currently.
Yep, right.
4 in a row.
But Indy and Dallas playing at home doesn't bode well. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
But, that's kind of interesting. We'll see what'll happen there.
I mean, against Omaha, that was the one where Paige Briggs-Roma didn't have as good of a game as she's been having.
That's
Allison
true.
Mayfield the same.
They were reading her like a book.
Yeah.
The block and the defense. They were like, nyam, 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 nyam. Sorry. Got you. From middle back to blocked. PBR blocked.
So, I don't know. Gotta hope Carly Snyder comes back and is really good.
Yeah, totally. Puts the team on her back just for like a second until everybody else settles down. I don't know. Something interesting is that sometimes these teams, I feel like when they're playing a team that they think is better than them, they play amazing. And then when they're playing a team that they're like, no, we can maybe handle this, they
play the competition. Yeah.
Yeah. That's something, I can't tell you how much I identify with that. I feel like every team I was on played out of their fucking minds when we would play the same two teams, and then we would drop sets and play 5-setters and lose 5-setters to teams that we should have handled. And I think there's something mental about that where like we have nothing to lose and no one expects anything from us here. Like we might see more of that as time goes on, that it will keep things interesting. Especially as some of these teams are like carrying over, I think, a little bit of expectation from prior years. And not necessarily judging a team based off of like who their actual humans are. I think San Diego played the best match maybe of their lives against Omaha. And I think that's the nothing to lose mindset. But
yeah,
let me get a leash on them.
But then they still lost.
But it was good. It was good volley. It hurts.
Hurts. I'd pull for them.
I know.
But I'm also pulling for their opponents. It's just like I just want everyone to have a good time.
Everyone have fun and
I want everyone to be
stuff.
comfortable.
Yeah. Sorry, Dallas, that you had to be in the cold with no coats for a week.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Maybe just like bring a coat in case from now on. How about
when you're coming up here to the Midwest?
No, well, the point was they didn't bring coats to Florida.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
It does.
You could just utilize like the robes from the hotel.
Absolutely. Stack that up. Thursday, February 5th, Omaha at Dallas. That's a fun one. Blue teams.
Oh my God. Battle of the Blue teams.
Friday, February 6th. Sorry. Thursday, it's at 7 p.m. Central on Roku. Okay. Friday, February 6th. Guess what we have? 2 games at the same time. On YouTube for free. Grand Rapids at Indy, 6 p.m. Atlanta at Orlando, 6 p.m. I don't know why, but in my head, I kind of feel like Atlanta and Orlando are like a little bit rivals.
Yeah. That's
in my head.
That's a year one. That's a classic clash.
Classic clash. Oh, I said it. Okay. And then at 9 o'clock p.m. Central is Columbus at San Diego. We love Cali. CBS Sports Network. Okay. That's your Friday games. And then Sunday, February 8th. Is that Super Bowl Sunday?
That is super. That's the big game day.
So that's not, there's no games on Saturday, but they put these games on Sunday. I thought I explicitly saw that they skipped Super Bowl Sunday. But
they have in the past.
They didn't this year.
Someone didn't get their schedule
2 p.m. Central. Okay. So that's like not horrible.
Yeah.
It's a lead in. Okay. Put this on your 2 devices, both of them at 2 p.m. One on YouTube, one on Vice TV. Now, I understand maybe you don't have Vice TV. Like, get yourself a little app, a little free trial. Okay. It's Omaha at Orlando. That's a nice one. That's a big week for Omaha. Okay. And Grand Rapids at Dallas. YouTube, Vice TV, respectively.
My wife's going to love it that I have to be like, listen, I have to watch sports for 12 hours.
All day long. Okay. And then we have a Monday match, which we don't normally have, but that's Indy at San Diego. 9 p.m. Central. Monday match. So I think we'll record maybe after that one. Not at 11 p.m. But we'll keep that as our week 5 marker. It's impossible to say what week it is.
Who knows?
Next year, the Super Bowl's on Valentine's Day.
Oh,
No, it's
cute.
not. Is that real?
In 2027.
That's cute. Where is it?
is. I don't
I
know.
don't like that.
Oh.
Let's close out. Thank you for listening to Court Captains of Volleyball podcast. Please give us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you like what you're hearing. Support small podcasts and like and subscribe on YouTube. If you don't like what you're hearing, then please just go ahead and mind your business. Follow us on Instagram at Court Captains Pod and email us your questions or comments at courtcaptainspod@gmail.com. It's hard.
And don't forget to be the captain of your own court.
Round of applause.
Whatever court that is.
Whatever court that is.
But it's not a field.
But not.
Don't forget
not
that.
field.
Not a field. But it
I
could
don't
be
wanna-
like
I
a
don't wanna see
legal
you on a
court.
field. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
jury duty.
Courting, if
court.
you're courting a significant other.
Bridgerton. Shout
Exactly.
out Bridgerton.
Yeah. Big
All right.
Bridgerton. You check out our other pod, Bridgerton Pod. All right.
Bridgerton Pod. Okay,
Bridgerton
bye.
Okay, bye.